Welcome to this week's episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in as little as 15 minutes to build your dream business. And now here's your host, the Visibility Whiz, Cindy J.
Woohoo! We are celebrating 100 episodes on the Business Success in 15 podcast today. Woohoo! Welcome, and thank you for joining me. I am Cindy J, the Visibility Whiz and the host of Biz Success in 15 podcast, where I interview top experts who share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in 15 minutes or less to build your business. Today we're going to do things a little bit different in celebration of 100 episodes. Woohoo! One of the questions that I always ask all of my guests is, what challenge did you have to overcome in order to achieve your level of success? Well, today I'm going to answer that question for myself. You know, we all have challenges and we all have pasts. We all have had something traumatic happen to us in our past. And there is no scale. So don't think, hey, Cindy J's past is way worse than mine or mine was way worse than hers, because there's no scale. Whatever happened to you impacted you in a very, very strong way. And we all have things we have to overcome. You know, I was not raised in a Leave It to Beaver home. I was in a very abusive home. My father mentally, physically, and sexually abused me. When I was 18, I got married to my father, minus the sexual abuse. And so then I had years of being in a mentally abusive, controlling marriage. And so whenever I was 35 years old, I had my first coach and mentor, and she told me, Cindy J, your life is your choice. I thought the woman was nuts. There was no way in hell that I was choosing that life. You see, because of all the abuse, I had learned just to be used. I didn't think I had any control of what happened. I didn't think I had any control of myself. I thought I was just an object for other people to use, basically. Whatever it was they wanted was my command. So whenever she said this to me, it really struck a nerve. I thought, I'm not choosing this. You see, at that time, I was severely depressed. I was suicidal. I was experiencing just about 10 immediate deaths in mine and my ex-husband's family in the previous 3 years. I was overcoming a major illness where I almost died. My 14-year-old daughter was getting involved in gangs. I had been fired from 3 different jobs. My ex-husband had told me, I don't love you anymore, but I'm going to stay with you for the kids. And so when my coach told me, your life is your choice, I thought she was completely nuts. I was not choosing any of that stuff. None of it. Zippo. I mean, who would, in the right mind, would choose that type of life, right? But her words really resonated with me, and I kept on asking myself, what did she mean, that my life is my choice? If my life was really my choice, how would I act? What would I do differently? Who would I be? If my life was truly my choice, who would I be? And through working with her, I discovered, yes, I had absolutely no control over any of that other stuff that happened to me. But I was 100% in control in what I was putting in my mind and what I was letting out. 100% in control. I couldn't change what everybody else was doing, but I could change the way I reacted to it. I could, in essence, rewrite my past. And that's what I started doing. I started redefining what my past meant to me. And at that time, I decided to be a winner in life. I don't like it when people tell me that you're a victim of sexual abuse or a victim of domestic violence, because I don't like being a victim. To me, if I'm a victim, I'm still in that place and they're still controlling me. So I chose to be a winner in life. And that's what I wish for each and every one of you, is choose to be a winner in life. Know that your life is your choice and choose to be a winner. Take control of it. And it's just one baby step at a time after another one. And those proverbial onions, they're probably going to last till the day you die. Nobody, I think, is ever 100% over anything that happened to them, because different layers will pop up, but that's okay. It's how you grow, and it's how you become successful. So I like to be a beacon of hope to other people. If I can succeed, if I can go from just being used by everybody else and really at a place of suicide and desperation, where I just really thought there was no life. I thought, what was the sense in living? To a very successful businesswoman in a very happy marriage with 2 children that love her and 3 grandchildren. And I really have a good life. Had you told me I would have this life when I was 35 years old, I would have thought you were wacko. So remember that your life is your choice. And this is a challenge that I had to overcome. And sometimes different layers of those onions will pop out of my business to this day. But that's okay, because I have decided my past does not define who I am. Each and every day, I get to define who I am. I get to choose to move forward. I get to choose what I'm going to believe. I get to choose how I'm going to act. I get to choose. And this is something that it takes confidence and it takes time to build. But believe me, you have it in you to build that confidence. You have it in you to be that successful. Another question I ask all of my guests naturally is to share a business strategy that listeners can implement in 15 minutes or less to build their business. So this being our 100th episode, woohoo, right? Yay! I wanted to share my 15-minute strategy with you. And I believe that you need to have a growth partner. My 15-minute strategy is just to have a growth partner. I have a friend who each and every morning we spend about 15 minutes on the phone with each other. She is my growth partner. And what we do every morning is we set 3 intentions for how we want to feel during the day. We share 5 things that happened the previous day that we're grateful for. And then we project ourselves into the future for 1 week, 3 months, a year, however long we want to project ourselves in the future. And we start talking about what it is that we want to happen. So I could say to her, wow, it's January and December 2019 was so fabulous. I went on my cruise with my family. We had the best time. It was such a good bonding experience. But I'm projecting what I want to happen, and I'm talking about what it is. And my growth partner gets in the conversation with me. She tells me, oh, it's so cool seeing that you and Mike did that. And it's so cool, watching you grow. And it was, so awesome whenever this great thing happened to you. And so this puts you in an energetic mode for the day. And it just shifts your energy to one of success, to one of gratitude, and to one of intention. And so that is, really good. Now, also know that you can have more than one growth partner. Different growth partners can be for different areas of your life and business. So my growth partner that I just shared, this isn't just about my business. This is about our personal lives. We share our personal and business. It's all intertwined. But also you can have a growth partner where you sit there and you discuss, where you can brainstorm how you can grow your business. You can brainstorm how to get clients. Now know that a growth partner doesn't replace a coach. I have a personal coach and I have 2 different growth partners. One where we speak specifically just about business, and that's what was your successes this week? What do you want to accomplish next week? What obstacles might you come into? Is there any way I can help you? Those are basically what we discuss. And so this is, some people may call it an accountability partner, but it's also a growth partner. So you can have growth partners for so many different areas in your life. If you're a mom, you can have a growth partner about parenting, right? So that's my 15-minute strategy and tip for you, is to find a growth partner and stick to it, because it's going to shift your energy. It's going to give you ideas you never thought you had, because it's just a time for play and a time to be creative. So next, what I want to do is I'm going to share a few of my favorite 15-minute strategies with you. And I'd also like to let you know that in 2020, I'll be releasing my 15 minutes business building strategy book based on all of the tips that I've gotten from so many amazing guests over the past couple of years. I'm so forever grateful to each and every guest that I've had. And so, I had to narrow it down. So I'm just picking a few of them to share with you today because we're limited on time. Today, our guest is Shamika Tankerson.
Let's just go with a strategy around some of those hidden fears that are there. Because what I find a lot of times when people are afraid to sell or they're afraid to charge more for their services, there's the little sabotaging thoughts in their mind of who are you to charge that much? What if people don't get results? Who do you think you are? All of those little things. And so, or nobody's going to pay that, right? And so one of the things that I like to do is I like to collect evidence. So we've talked about trusting your value. We've talked about owning your expert status. And so I literally run around collecting as much evidence as possible, whether it's client case studies, testimonials, any evidence that proves to me you are an authority, you do bring value to the table, and I keep it in a file. And I use it and I share it often. So there's 2 steps to this. It's every day wake up and look for evidence of what it is you truly desire, who you truly desire to be. If you desire to be successful, what's the evidence around me that I'm successful? If you desire to have clients who love you, what's the evidence that my clients love me and they get results? If you desire to be a highly paid authority, what's the evidence that I am a highly paid authority? And just collect that. And then the second step to it is to share it. Not just hold it in your little book and look at it for yourself, because looking at it for yourself on a regular basis will edify you, but speaking it out to the world and having other people go, yes, that's what I believe about you, it kind of activates that Muhammad Ali factor where he said he was the greatest and then everybody else picked up on it.
Right. Today, our guest is Melanie Benson.
I have a plethora of business tips and strategies, but I wanted to think of one that I really felt would fit what we're talking about here with mindset, because I believe our mindset sets the tone for everything we accomplish in a day. And so I'm on this kick right now of morning routines. I call it my morning power routine. And so I have a lot of clients who come to me over the years who are feeling a little bit stuck. They're not motivated. They're struggling to get past a lot of their fears and doubts and really get into positive momentum. So I created these morning rituals to help them, kind of get out of their own way. And so you can do it in 5 minutes. You can do it in 15 minutes. You can do it in an hour. It depends on how much time you want to dedicate to it. But the simple version is this. Before you get out of bed in the morning, you start your day with a positive, inspiring intention. And it could be something as simple as, today I'm going to flow with grace and ease. Okay, I have a couple clients that use that one all the time because they have a lot of stressful things that happen through their business. It could be that you get very clear and intentional about certain outcomes or feelings you want to create that day. But getting that intention clear before you even get out of your bed, what it does is it locks it in a very high vibrational state, because when we're sleeping and we're just waking up, our mind is in a state that's very moldable. So we can actually imprint into our, basically into our DNA for the day, how we're going to be by setting that positive intention. Now, the other things that I teach my clients, there's 3 non-negotiables. One of them is setting the intention, and then there's a lot of things you get to figure out what you want to do. But the other 2 things are, you have to have high nutrition and you have to have exercise. Now, somebody might go, oh my God, I can barely get out the door already without, being overwhelmed. Trust me, you can do this in 5 minutes. You can run in place for 5 minutes. You can do a plank pose and hold it for 1 minute, hopefully. For some of us, that's a little hard. You can do some really quick, what's called yoga flow poses, which just gets the energy boosting. Here's why that's important. First of all, we're oxygenating our cells. We're getting the stagnation from sleep off. And there's a lot of people who, especially coming out of burnout, their energy is really low in the morning anyway. And if their hormones are out of balance or their adrenals are burned out, their mornings are going to be shot. So doing the exercise gets us out of that lull and brings the inspiration up. And then the high nutrition is to really kick sugar and carb only to the curb and add protein and high quality nutrition, because we are putting high vibration fuel in to set the tone for the day. So that's my 15-minute tip, is do a morning power routine. I tell you, it will change your life. I had a client who started it last week. She called me up and she said, Melanie, she goes, I just booked $13,000 of business in the very first day because I was motivated to do some things that I always put off. It works really well.
Interesting. Today our guest is Jim Palmer.
Also do what it is you do. And the real money in business is made by the reputation you have. And that means you have to declare yourself the guru in that niche. Whether you use the word guru or not, it's not important, but you have to present yourself as the go-to person. And if you can do that, and people are attracted to hope and certainty. Remember, now I don't care what you sell. People want hope and certainty. If people believe that you have, there's certainty that you can deliver the goods, and they hope for this great outcome, you're like 90% of the way to a great client. So just remember, you'll earn significantly more income for who you are than what you do.
Today our guest is Catherine Calhoun.
And you know what? It's right around the theme that we've just been talking about, which is starting to get people on your email list. And really, that strategy is just as simple as kind of, if you can think of just like appending your invitation onto your email list to whatever it is that you're doing in your day. So a lot of times people will be spending, they hear that, going on Facebook is a great way to get clients, or participating in LinkedIn groups is a great way to get clients, or going to a networking event is a great way to get clients. Perfect. All of those things are ways that you can get in front of your, like, really just your perfect prospects. But if you're going to do it, don't just post something and send people to your website, or go on Facebook Live. And often what happens, what I see, is people will do like a Facebook Live and then there's no invitation at all at the end. It's just like this really lovely, generous little tip and then nothing. And it's like, okay, well, you're already spending the time anyway. So just take like 12 extra seconds and say, hey, if you thought that this was helpful, I have a free gift that I think would be really amazing for you. It's called blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to put the link in the comments for you to be able to grab it. Or I'm going to put the link in the, like, above the post or whatever. And same thing if you're at a networking event, have it on your business card. It's just, and in the beginning, when you're just getting started, growing your email list, you're not going to have like an influx of 7,000 people join your email list right out of the gate, but that's okay. It's all about just like the incremental wins.
Our guest is Mark Porteous.
We've started off at the beginning of the call. We were talking about all the different challenges. There's all this different management stuff, managing money, managing time. And for me, the most important asset in your business is the people, whether that's you, your clients, your prospective clients, the people that are in your funnel, however you might look at these different groups. And so being able to manage them quickly and efficiently. Every Monday, I spend 15 minutes looking at my spreadsheet. So start off with a simple spreadsheet and list the different types of people that are important in your business and in your life. Even the relationships, you can put that in there. And then actually track when you're talking to people, what the last note is. And so if you can actually have a running list of the relationships that are important to you, having their birthday on there, having little things in that tracking helps you to really connect to them deeper. They don't know that you're doing it, but it also it makes it easy to know what they need next and to follow up with them. That's the whole idea, is following up and staying in relationship. Yeah, in the spreadsheet, it's got a call to action, just like with the goal sheet spreadsheet or anything else. These are the different projects. These are the date lines, and saying, okay, I talked to them about going into my coaching program, and they said that they were interested. They were just finishing up another coaching program, and that to follow up next month. So I'll put in the tab, follow up next month after a coaching program. And I'll use the name of whatever they're in. And so then I know, and I have a red flag that says, oh, time to reach out to that person.
Our guest is Brian Basilico.
My 10-10-10 strategy deals with this one thing. We all have contacts, okay? You have them everywhere. If you're running a business, you have them on your phone. You have them in your QuickBooks. You have them in your social media. You have them everywhere. So what I'm suggesting that people do is get a one single place to put their strategy into. So in other words, have a CRM, have an online database, have something, I don't care if it's a spreadsheet or whatever it is, but have a place where you can pull all this information in and centralize it. So you know their name, their address, their phone number, their email address, their social media platforms, all of that kind of stuff. Have one place for it. Because if you got to go here to find their phone number and there to find their social and all this other stuff, it wastes a lot of time. So that's the key. Now, the 10-10-10 strategy is this. Here's what I want you to do. Spend 10 minutes a day. Dedicate 10 minutes a day to finding that data and organizing it in one place. That's all you got to do. 10 minutes every single day. The next part of the 10 is 10 contacts. Now, if you're starting out from scratch, organize 10 contacts and make sure all of their information is correct. It literally can take a minute with copy and paste. So you can get 10 contacts in there. If you do that for 2 weeks, 10 contacts for 2 weeks, you have 100 clean current contacts in your database. All right? So and if you have already gone through that process, let's say you've been doing it for 3 to 6 months, don't stop. What you do is you go to the third 10. And so what the third 10 is 10 words. And this is what you do, is you go and say to somebody, whether it's a Facebook message, direct message in LinkedIn, email, could be a direct message in Instagram, it doesn't matter. All you say are these 10 words. Just wanted to say hi. How can I help you? ? Done. So if you're starting out, get 10 new people in there, get that message clean. If you're halfway through the process, get 5 new people, send that message to 5 people. If you've got everything that you need in there, I mean, I had 200 and some odd podcast guests that I had to put into my database. I'm still working through those since January. So I'm now at the point where I'm doing 5 new people and 5 just connecting up with people and just saying hi. And from that, you will find golden nuggets in your business that you did not know existed.
So I hope you enjoyed today's show. And again, woohoo, 100 episodes. Yay! And be sure to tune in next week where I will be interviewing another amazing guest with you. And be sure to hop on over to iTunes and leave a review. If you see me on the YouTube channel or on my website, leave us a review, leave us some comments, and let us know if there's anybody you'd like to see, what you like and what you haven't liked. So with that, I hope you have a great week. Big hugs and bye-byes.
You've been listening to Biz Success in 15. For all links mentioned in today's show and to watch or listen to previous episodes, visit bizsuccessin15.com. Thanks so much for listening, and be sure to tune in next week for another amazing guest.